You know, discrimination and just downright, anti-black racism go on jobs even today in the 21st century. Even though we have a Civil Rights Act, it still go on. So in Brevard County in Florida, they have to pay a sister $150,000 under the terms of a settlement agreement because she was fired without cause back in 2015. So Deidre Jackson was fired by her manager, Eric Garvey, a white man, in 2015. Prior to her termination of her employment at the tourism office, Garvey had noted that he had no problems with the sister at all. So according to court filings, this man, last name Garvey, noticeably avoided interacting with Jackson during the workday. He reportedly fired Jackson in 2015 with no advance notice, just 6 months after he began working at the office. Now, she had worked at the Florida Space Coast Office of Tourism for 8 years. It said since 2007, and the federal complaint said that Jackson had an exemplary work record, okay? And say, however, this white supremacist reportedly told Jackson that she didn't fit his vision of what he thought the office should look like, okay? And asked that she leave the position in 14 days. He said Garvey also admitted there was nothing wrong with Jackson's job performance, as that complaint also showed that Jackson had never been disciplined, and say a white individual took Jackson's place after she left, okay? So made the black woman be unemployed, give her job to the white woman, right? So it said she filed a discrimination claim with the Equal Opportunity Commission. It said federal government sued Brevard County. It said after the case made its way to the Justice Department. Now, say although the county didn't admit fault or acknowledge it violated the Civil Rights Act of 1964, it's agreed to pay the sister $100,000 in back pay and $50,000 in damages. They said no one should suffer the indignity of losing her job because of the color of her skin. That's according to the Assistant Attorney General for the Civil Rights Division, Eric S. Dreban. Now, they say Jackson, the sister, was fired shortly before an Asian American employee named Kalina Subido Pearson was asked to resign after 25 years on the job. So this same guy fired an Asian lady who's been there 25 years. And after, the sister and the Asian lady lost their jobs, the tourism staff was all white people was put in their place. And this guy left in 2018 and moved to a job in the private sector. Yes, that still goes on, ladies and gentlemen. They're trying to get black people out of the jobs just so they can give it to white people. You understand what I'm saying? And this is the racism, the anti-black racism that is the foundation of America. You have to understand, America was built on anti-black racism. It was. And we have to recognize that as such. We have to call it out. We have to understand anti-black racism is in every institution this country has. It's permeated. You can't escape it. It's not like, okay, it's here in this one place, but if you get away from it over here, you're not going to deal with it. No, it's everywhere. It's sick. It's demonic. It's evil. It's wicked. It is. And I'm glad the sister fought back. I'm glad the sister got $150,000. Awesome. I firmly believe that black people should sue every chance you get. If you know good and well it's discrimination and racism, sue they behind. Get paid. Make them pay for their racism. Because trust me, if they start getting sued and paying enough money, then they're going to say, oh, wait a minute, hold on. We got to chill out with some of this. We're paying too much. It took a few years, yes, for it to come through. But at the end, she found her justice with this situation. But leave me a comment, let me know what you think about, this particular story with our sister. And maybe some of you in the comments can tell me some of the issues you dealt with on jobs, or maybe you lost jobs and were replaced by white folks. Let me know.